Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel today with a deck profile from the one and only
Jacob.
That's right. He is back on the channel right now. You know, we still gotta give him a nickname, but you know, it's alright. It's alright.
Shrimpy! Riggs!
Riggs! Bug Boy?
Yeah, you play, I heard you play Vegas Call.
So we'll call him Weevil.
We don't speak of that game Vanguard in this environment.
Nah, son.
Wow.
He's gonna make a deck profile. Oh, come on, guys, it's Weevil.
What's the worst that he can do?
Yeah, oh my god.
Say goodbye to Yugioh.
The most expensive cards in the game.
And you threw him
Powerful
away.
cards in all of Duel Monsters.
Alright, well anyway, enough of that guys. What do we have here today?
So for this deck profile, it's gonna be vampires.
Vampires. And now
Los Vampiros.
as you guys know, Dark Magic Ian did a vampire deck profile on the channel before, but Jacob has a very, very different profile here. So you guys are going to want to watch until the end to see exactly how different his card ratios are and to see whether or not you want to incorporate these ratios into a deck that you eventually intend to build. So anything you want to say before we get into the profile?
I'm like, well, no, I just want to get this thing started.
Let's get this thing on the road.
Alrighty. Hey. As for, so I'm gonna start off with monsters. So for monsters, I'm running 2 copies of Vampire Familiar. Okay, 2 copies of Vampire Familiar. Wait, is it in right? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so 2 familiars. So the reason why I picked 2 is the right number, 3 is too cloggy. And what he does is if he's special summoned, when he's special summoned, I get to pay 500 to search for a vampire monster. That's about it. And then if he leaves the field with his own effect, he gets banished. Should have done that for Vendreads, but okay. Next, 2 copies of Vampire Retainer. Does the same thing, but he grabs spells and traps. Oh, sorry.
You're defeating the entire purpose of having a mat.
Oops. Error.
Back up. There we go. Okay.
Alright, 2 copies of Retainer. He does the same thing as this, but for spells and traps. And next, 1 copy of Vampire Sorcerer. So, reason why I pick 1 because these guys do the searching for the most part, and he's there for a keepsake. When he's in the graveyard, I get to summon a vampire for free without chibiting, which is cool.
St. Joan Dark Worlds.
Next, 3 copies of Fraulein. So Fraulein, yeah, 3 copies of Fraulein. So whenever any monster would attack or battle, she comes right out from my hand, and whenever a zombie monster gets involved in a battle with another monster, I pay increments of 100, max 3,000, and that zombie gets beefy.
Beefy?
Which is cool.
Which is cool and all.
Next, 2 copies of Shadow Vampire. So the thing is with this card, I'm kind of torn between either Shadow or Duke, but I do tend to like alternate in between, or have 1 of each.
Yeah, there were 2 starters.
So right now, 2 Shadows seems like a good idea,
Interesting.
despite its restriction of having that monster being able to attack only. Next, this is my personal preference. 2 copies of Vampire Grace. Reason why I use 2 because like I want to keep her own summon effect consistent, and I like to drain from my opponent's deck. Just do vampire things.
That drain does.
So yeah.
Too many of these guys sparkle.
Sparkle.
Are they truly vampires then?
Yeah, you've been watching too much Twilight, bro.
It is me, Dio.
Better love story.
You thought this was a vampire deck, but it was me, Dio!
Next,
Knock.
I run 3 copies of Scarlet Scourge.
Not me.
So this one is pretty much the same thing as Duke, but better because Whenever he's normal or special summoned by any means, I pay a stack, grab any vampire from the graveyard, and summon it. But that monster cannot attack. Who cares though? And whenever he kills a monster, I get to snatch it at the end of the battle. Next, I run 2 copies of Unizombie. So, you know, Unizombie sets up my graveyard just by dumping stuff and setting up plays. Next, I run 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I gotta have hand traps in his deck. Hand traps are a must. So, yeah.
I like how this one's a special on the deck.
And, yeah, anti-searching. Next, 3 copies of Shranui Solitaire. So Solitaire is pretty much the Lone Fire Blossom of zombies. So I treat it a zombie. So basically I grab this. Grab the Unizombie with no defense and it's a tuner. Next, 1 copy of Spirit Master. So whenever he's normal summoned, I get to grab a Shenui from the graveyard or hand to special summon it, but banish it when the leaves is filled. Instant link or instant XZs, which is pretty good. And when he's banished, I get to pop a card. Oh, I forgot to mention about Solitaire. When he gets banished, I get to special summon a banished Shiranui. That is not him. So yeah. Next, and lastly for monsters, 2 Mizukis. I mean, I could run 3, but 2 is just right.
And because you know Mizuki is Mizuki.
Yeah, he's a staple. He's a zombie staple. Must have for zombies. Now, on to spells, everyone. For spells,
This game needs a ban list.
People need to know how to stop.
If this game didn't have a ban list, this game would be hell.
right?
If this game didn't have a ban list, I'd be running jars.
It's just a
If it didn't
card
have a
game.
ban list, I'd just be playing 3 Views of Exodia, piece of 3 every draw card.
No, because see, running triple Exodia may sound like a good idea until you realize, no.
There's a 5 pieces of Exodia in like every 3 of every draw card.
Yeah, it's pretty much, no, I just run jars. You have any idea how stupid having Cyber and Fiber Jar at 3 in a deck would be?
In the same deck? Oh my god.
Besides, no one's gonna
Especially with freaking jars, the big ass 8-star jar.
Oh yeah, Jar of Taboos.
Jar taboos, like what?
Okay, for spells, I run 2 copies of Vampire Desire. So this card has 2 effects. So one effect is to like copy levels of the vampire that I send, and another effect is to take one monster off the board and summon a vampire in its place. So yeah, this card is good at 2. 3 is too cloggy. Well, it's just a personal preference to have it at 2. Next, 3 copies of Allure Darkness. Since the majority of my monsters are dark, this is a must-have at 3. Another dark staple. And let's see. Next, I run this card, which is Dragon's Mirror. It's a personal. Anyway, so this card is a personal tech choice of mine. So since the majority is zombie, actually all my monsters are zombie. So all right, since I have this card, I just summon a certain fusion monster that requires 2 zombies. So why not? And plus, this card may help me in a pinch. Alright, next, Foolish Burial. Staple, send a monster from the deck to the grave. Nothing special about it. And I hate this rarity. Freaking platinum. Anyway.
You will be okay.
Next, 1 Reigeki. Of course, it's a staple. 1 Monster Reborn. Also a staple. Next, one copy of Vampire Empire. So this card is so good with this deck. Of course, it's a vampire deck and, well, Bill Spell. So, zombie types gain 500 attack during damage calc, whether I go out to attack or receive an attack. So it doesn't matter. And whenever my opponent would drop from their deck, something gets popped after sending a vampire away. And next, 2 copies of Vampire's Domain, which is basically a double summon. And whenever a vampire hurts my opponent by a battle or deal any form of battle damage, I heal by that amount, which is so amazing and delicious.
Vampire's Domain has gotten me quite a lot of jams thanks to this. Yeah, right over there. Very, very good.
This card is so good.
Oh my goodness.
Broken.
And lastly, for spells, 1 Call It a Mummy, so it's a tech choice. So in case I have no monsters, I just summon for free.
Sure.
And that's all.
So,
that's all my spells.
How do you like Call of the Mummy? Like special summoning one from your hand?
So I mean, it's just in case I run into those situations where I'm just like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Makes sense.
And trap cards. I don't run that many, but here we go. 1 copy of Shiranui style Swallow Slash. So this card is basically Icarus attack, but for zombies. And after I pop 2 cards, I banish a Shiranui monster from the deck. If I banish a Spirit Master, I pop 1 more card. So I basically get to pop 3 cards. Next, 1 Solemn Judgment. It's a counter trap. Pay half my life, negate anything. And lastly, for traps, 2 copies of Vampire Dominations. This card is so amazing. So basically, this card is like an infinity barrier for vampires. And whenever I negate a monster with this card, I gain its attack and add it to my life points. So yeah, life points is very important with this deck. Knowing that I use life points to like activate effects and stuff. Now, on to the extra deck. Whoopee! Confetti! Alright, so on to the extra deck. So, in my extra deck, I have a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and Link. Now, for my Fusion, I run 1 copy of Dragon Necro Nethersoul Dragon. So this is what the Dragon's Mirror is for. So yeah. So whenever he battles a monster, this guy he can't kill any monsters by battle, which sucks. But the rest of his effect may, you know, kind of make up for it. So whenever he battles a monster, that monster's attack is drained to 0, and then I produce a token equal to that monster's strength. Now, oh yeah, and Dragon Necro is a 3000 attacker. Now for Synchros, 1 Black Rose Dragon. So Black Rose Dragon is kind of like my nuke button in case I ever need it. And the rest of the effect does not matter. It never does. Next, I run 2 Cyframe Lord Omegas.
Oh, very good. So what is the level 3 that how do you usually like to get this out? Just with the Shiranui Solitaire combo?
Yeah, for the most part.
Do you feel like that like restricts a deck like that engine into its own thing and then the vampires do something else? Or do you feel like there's a good amount of like overlap and combination and stuff?
It's mostly like the combination and stuff. Although, even though I use Unizombie to like bring this out, unfortunately, you won't be able to attack, but it's just the board build up, pretty much.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to mess with my opponent's hand as well, which is fun.
Oh yeah, of course.
Next, I run 1 copy of Shiranui Shogun Saga. So basically, this guy is just a giant beat stick. I mean, he's a beat stick that becomes a bigger beat stick upon being special summoned.
Big.
Right. Just for no reason. And plus with Vampire Empire on the board, plus 500 more.
Yep.
So which is great. And lastly for Synchros, 1 copy of Vermilion Dragon Mech. The reason why I have this in here, I do have a possibility of, you know, running into level 9s. I mean, not as often, but like I do have that once in a blue moon chance. And the thing is, with this card, like, okay, so his effect, so I banish a tuner, I pop something. When this Synchro summoned card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I get a tuner back. So let's say I banish Ash Blossom, right? Ash Blossom is a tuner. So I pop something, and then if he dies, I get said Ash Blossom back to my hand. I mean, that little combo is pretty neat. I say that at least. And yeah, I mean, oh yeah, the reason why I picked this over Trishula or Mistworm, because like its synchro requirements are easier. So it says 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, instead of saying 1 tuner plus 2 or more. I mean,
Really
yeah.
nice to have a generic level 9.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, this one's easier to summon. Now, for Xyz, I run 1 copy of Tornado Dragon.
Self-explanatory.
So of course, you know, I do have a possibility of going into the rank 4s. But like, it's just back row removal. Back row removal is very important to me. And yeah, this happens during other player's turn, which is also good. And next, 1 Vampire Bram. I love this card. This card is funny. Because like, he never dies.
Oh, the undying bastard.
Yes, he never dies, and he likes to steal stuff from my opponent's graveyard. He's also Mr. Steal Your Girl from the grave.
Yeah.
Better leave my girl alone.
Nah, he's a vampire. He go after everyone's girl.
Nah, chill.
You gotta get that nice neck real estate right there.
Right, that chastity neck.
Better keep his Edward-looking ass away from me.
Team Edward.
Dang.
I can't believe I said that in this video. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's right. The vampire hunter. He's gonna hunt
That
your
Richter
vampires.
Belmont.
These are like 30 cents.
Next, 2 copies of Vampire Sheridan,
Very good
as I
card.
call it, Vampire Sheridan Hotel,
You mean Dio?
aka Dio.
Oh,
Yes.
I think you're about to get a lawsuit on your ass right now. Sheraton Hotel is gonna come after you.
I think they'd be okay with it.
Excuse me, sir. We do not have any vampires at this establishment. This is not Hotel Transylvania. Thank you very much. This is the Sheraton. We are a very, very good establishment.
So you say.
Reputable establishment.
So this card is pretty good for a vampire boss monster. So once per turn, detach, send any card to the graveyard. I like that. I like the fact that it sends instead of destroying, because like it gets around stuff that says can't be destroyed.
Yeah.
So I just like, okay, send it. And if I happen to send a monster, I detach again and snatch that monster back to my board. He's also Mr. Steal Your Girl, but yeah.
Next we got
And lastly for
Steal your girl's
Xyz,
first kiss.
1 Photon Strike Bouncer. So I run this over Dragulus, because Dragulus is, I don't know, everyone link summons now, so like Dragulus will never have a chance of like doing stuff. So stop it. So with Photon Strike Bouncer, whenever my opponent's monster would activate on their board, I just detach, negate it, and deal 1,000 just cause. And he's a 27 beater.
Now, do you mostly make the
it's coming out.
rank 6s or rank 5s?
It's coming out of it.
Rank 6 is for the most part.
Do you have a chance of making rank 5s easily?
Yeah, with Shadow
it
Vampire.
says rank 6, like a vampire's curse.
Well, the reason I ask
Destroyed
is
by battle and sent to the grave. Special summons
a
back.
card you
and
might find
gains
very useful
500
soon enough
attack.
is Zenmao.
Forget.
Oh yeah,
So I
Zenmayo.
cut one of the Book of Life for a reason.
That card is also good.
It's so good.
Now for Link monsters.
You're running vampire.
I don't think you should run a
You,
reason.
you shouldn't need two. You shouldn't need 3 Book of Life.
But you also shouldn't need a
Are you
reason
running
to
Monster
vampires.
Reborn?
Yes.
You don't need 3 Book of Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Book of Life is a bad card.
Well, no,
wouldn't
it's
call it a
actually
bad
pretty
card.
good.
It's damn
The
good.
thing is that
Because
it's
it
not
banishes a
searchable.
card.
Right.
It's very type specific, and you have to be able to banish a monster.
Yeah, from your opponent's thing.
I believe it's a monster, not a
It is a
card.
monster.
Yeah, it has to be a
monster
monster.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so if your opponent's running Sky Striker, how often do the monsters sit in their grave?
Never.
Yeah.
Ray is like such a blowout.
Yeah, but
Like you
Ray's
use all that, you win.
Liger
Yeah.
Zero, the
Well,
Liger
then
Zero,
again,
the
you
chick,
just
the deck.
tribute for Skyscourge Imbecile, and then just they lose after
or you
that.
just,
Right.
you know, cherries everything.
Yeah.
True.
Liger Zero.
Each deck has
the
its like.
chick,
Of course, the card's
deck.
gonna be
But
good
the
against
thing
some
is
decks
that
and like
Book
bad
of
against
Life is
others.
another spell
Oh,
that
sorry
you
guys, I got distracted. So for Link monsters, I run
never
2
need-
copies
you wouldn't
of
like
Vampire Sucker.
Depends on how much.
So this is
You
like
hear him lick his lips. Do that again.
Stop
Do
it.
it again. Yeah.
If you end up milling or sacking.
So
off stuff
basically,
in the
this
deck,
is like
I'm playing like
a Link
Armageddon
staple.
and stuff.
Well, a Link Vampire staple of like
you play
this
an
deck.
engine that's actually
And
tricky to play.
until
That's
the new
kinda
set,
bad.
until the new set comes out with the Witch's
Like,
Wish
have
Link,
you looked at how he built
like this is gonna
vampires?
one
That's a
of them
real
is gonna be
vampire
taken out for it.
Well, but it's
So,
it's,
yeah.
The thing is, you merge a lot
And
of
basically,
engines together.
This
And the
card
problem
is
you have to
this
kinda
card is
pick and choose
basically
your fights.
card of safe return
So if you go vampire, you
and
really
somewhat
wanna
of
dedicate
a
to the
layer
vampire.
of darkness in a way.
You don't
Yeah.
really need,
Because like
cards like
whenever I would
Book of
tribute
Life,
summon a zombie monster, I just tribute their zombie monster for it.
Handy. It depends on how you build the deck.
No, yeah.
The problem is
Yeah,
you
it's
built
a
the deck
it's a
dedicated
semi
to
layer of
vampire.
darkness, and it's a
You're
once per
running-
turn
you're
card of safe
running
return,
Shiranui. You're running Armageddon
which is
and
cool,
zombies.
and she's cute.
You're running these. You're running like
Next,
technically 2 to 3.
One copy of Saryuja Skuldred.
Some of the stuff.
This card is awesome. Like this is a so this card gives me a +1 to my hand, and I get a free special summon and a power boost.
It's easy enough to get. If you're running Armageddon,
Which is pretty
you
cool.
should be running first card.
And lastly, for Link monsters, one copy of Borolo Dragon.
You should have already taken.
So
Have Borlo.
You've never run first
gotta
card.
have him.
The last time 3
But
Life was valid was
I'm thinking like to like replace Borolo with like a Link 3 because like I feel as if I need a Link 3 in this deck. But yeah.
No, I'm taking these out.
Anyway, so with Borolo, just steal stuff after or at the start of the damage step. At the start of the damage step, he just steals stuff that he battles. He's also Mr. Steal Your Girl.
I'm just gonna put
You
the.
got all sorts of steal your girls. You got some girls and then steal your girls.
Right. Need more.
That's right. All right. So any
Oh, yeah.
side deck or anything like that?
Actually, I do have a side deck.
I'm just playing one of these and then decisive.
You just pop it down super quickly. I don't know how much. I don't know if I have too much space left on the
Okay.
phone, but let's see what we got over here.
So for my side deck,
Oh, we got the Lancias.
so 2 copy of Lancias.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, 2 copy of Lancia to prevent vanishing for anything. To tribute my opponent's stuff. So Kaiju gets rid of 1, Lava Golem gets rid of 2, Spear Mode gets rid of 3. So yeah.
I'm gonna take these choice for
Dark Hole.
1 Dark Hole, 3 Call by the Graves, because Ash Blossom and the little girl in the mansion, that's also a thing.
Zombie
2
World.
Z Worlds to like turn everything into zombies.
Motherfucker.
Also to screw over 2 Draco decks if they're still
Oh,
around.
And occasional Bujin decks, which you will totally run against
Yes!
all day.
Ash Blossom, like. you know
And
what
2
Ash
copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance to like slow down the spell flow.
Good decks that don't need the hand.
And 2 World Decrees to like stop traps.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
perfect. Well, thank you so much for the deck profile. Anything you want to say? Any shout outs that you want to give?
Shout outs to the homie Rolex over here, and shout outs to the other, Yu-Gi-Oh players that are here.
We got all sorts of Yu-Gi-Oh players here today, guys. Well, thanks so much for that deck profile. Very different type of vampire deck profile.
Yeah, it all depends
So
on how.
please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Make sure to give Jacob a lot of love in the comment section below. With that, guys, it's been the Mermail Master with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel. And until next time, we're signing out, guys.
Bye!